But the bottom line thing that you must understand is that you can't expect people to go vote when you are not offering them enough to go vote for. And if you want to change your politics, you got to change your parties within it. That's a fundamental step one. Now, let's talk about the overlying crisis of our politics, because that gets us out of the dynamic of just this year. And here's the bad thing that's happening, and why the people who are involved, how many people here were involved with Move to Amend? Move to Amend. How many were involved? You know, this is the reason I came here on a Friday night, much as I love coming to Milwaukee on a Friday night, is because I believe in it in the overall scheme of things, and all the stuff that's going on right now. Move to Amend is the single most important grassroots activism in this country today. I believe what's happening is the most exciting and good thing going on in this country today. Because, no, I don't say that to be nice to you.
But I thank you anyway.
Mary says thanks, but that's not. You know, this fall I went all over Wisconsin. I went up to Neenah and Menasha. I went over to western Wisconsin. Wherever people from Move to Amend asked me to come speak, I came to speak. And I didn't do it for them. I did it for myself. Because the most beautiful thing about Move to Amend, the most beautiful thing about the grassroots movement to amend our Constitution, to get money out of politics, to change our politics fundamentally, is that I never go anywhere for a Move to Amend event that doesn't look just like this. Whereas you had candidates and parties struggling to get a crowd together, struggling, when you get people together on a fundamental issue, when you say, yeah, let's go do something real, it packs the room, not just in Milwaukee, not just in Madison, but this is where you break beyond the boundaries and you go to Neenah and Menasha and Appleton and Green Bay and communities across this state, town after town after town, in region after region after region, that voted for Republicans for the top of the ticket, voted to get big money out of politics. Because the reality is we've split our politics here. We've got an issue stream going and we've got an electoral stream going. And the issue stream is what excites people. It's what gets the big votes. It's what functions in a real way. And it's going to take time to integrate those issues back into politics. But until we do, until we have candidates and parties running on these issues, then you're going to have this disconnect, and it's going to be deeply frustrating. But it's also vital to go forward on these issues. And I'll tell you why. At the end of the day, I know it's going to be shocking to you, but we're not going to amend the Constitution of the United States with a bunch of liberal Democrats. That's not going to happen. If you think it is, you're living in a dream world. We're going to amend the Constitution with the great mass of American people coming to recognize that their politics is so totally broken that the only way to begin to repair it is by getting the corporations and the billionaires out of our way. That's the truth. And I absolutely know how frustrating it is to look up that tall mountain and say, oh, wow, we're going to amend the Constitution of the United States. Sure, Mr. Nichols. Yeah. And then after we amend the Constitution of the United States, we're going to elect Bernie Sanders president. And not a bad idea, all right? Then we're going to start to implement the McGovern platform of 1972. And it's all going to come together perfectly. No. The reality is it's going to be hard. It's going to be demanding. And it has to be a mass coalition. This is the thing that people, I think, in Move to Amend understand better than most people in politics. Because do you know where they put these referendums on the ballot? I mean, they finally got to Milwaukee County. That's good.
It took 4 years.
It took 4 years to get to Milwaukee County. You guys passed it just fine. You did great. But you understand, before Milwaukee County got its act together to vote and tell our Congress to get moving on a constitutional amendment, before Milwaukee County did that, Delavan, Wisconsin, Scott Walker's hometown, moved to amend by 76% of the vote. No, I mean, that's the key. You're not winning just with liberal Democrats. You're winning with people who do vote Republican. You're winning with people who are independents. Because the bottom line is, when you lay this issue out, it works. And that's how you build a movement that matters. Now, I know the frustration of saying it's going to take a little bit of time. But you know what you did here in Milwaukee mattered fundamentally. It mattered fundamentally because we are now over 650 major communities across this country that have said to the Congress, you must act on this issue. We have 16 states that have said to the Congress, you must act on this issue. This is real. What's happening is significant and it's growing. Ordinary people are talking to each other about it. And it is winning in conservative and Republican areas. And this is where we have to go on this next step of this thing.